In the winter of World War II, as Europe burned and hope seemed to be fading, a small group of American soldiers received an order that was never meant to exist. This was a mission so dangerous, so seemingly impossible, that even the generals who approved it doubted they would return alive. These were the U.S. Army Rangers. And this is the secret mission that helped turn the tide of the war. The U.S. Rangers weren't your ordinary soldiers. They were a special breed, trained for one specific job: go in first and survive last. Created in 1942, they were America's answer to enemy fortifications that traditional infantry simply couldn't break. They mastered speed, stealth, climbing, and night raids. To their enemies, the Rangers were like ghosts. To the Allied commanders, they were the tip of the spear. In early 1944, Allied intelligence intercepted German communications about a heavily fortified cliffside base. This strategic point controlled massive artillery guns, powerful enough to obliterate the upcoming D-Day landings. If those guns remained active, the entire Normandy invasion could collapse before it even began. So, the U.S. Rangers were quietly assembled. There was no full briefing, no written documents, and not even a recorded name for the operation. The order was simple and brutal. The guns must be destroyed, at any cost. The night before the attack was cold and the sea was violent. The small Ranger boats rocked like toys against the churning waves. Men were seasick, they prayed, they cursed, and they quietly double-checked their weapons. Every single Ranger knew the odds were stacked against them. A vertical cliff face, enemy snipers waiting above, grenades dropped from the top, zero backup, and absolutely no retreat. But they also knew one thing: if they succeeded, thousands of their brothers landing on the beaches at dawn might live to see another day. Just before sunrise, the Rangers reached the base of the cliff. They fired ropes upward using rocket launchers, but the fierce wind blew half of them away. Some ropes burned on the wet rock, others broke under the strain. But the Rangers climbed anyway. German soldiers leaned over the cliff's edge, firing down, cutting ropes, and even pushing boulders onto the men below. But inch by agonizing inch, hand over bloody hand, the Rangers rose through the smoke and chaos. By the time the first groups reached the top, many were already wounded, but not a single one stepped back. At the top, the Rangers expected to find the giant artillery guns they were sent to destroy. But to their absolute shock, the bunkers were empty. The Germans had moved the guns just before the raid. Now, the Rangers were alone, surrounded, low on ammunition, and trapped deep behind enemy lines. Failure here meant certain death and a catastrophe for the D-Day landings, but a small patrol didn't give up. They began searching the nearby fields, and then they found them. The massive artillery guns cleverly hidden in an orchard, aimed directly at the beaches where American soldiers would soon land. With only minutes to spare, the Rangers raced to place explosives inside the artillery barrels. One after another, a series of deafening explosions echoed across the coastline. Boom! 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 The guns were destroyed. The sound of those explosions meant one thing: the beaches of Normandy were safer. The Rangers held that critical position for 2 long, brutal days, completely surrounded and cut off, fighting with whatever they could find. But they never gave up the ground they had taken. When reinforcements finally broke through, only a fraction of the original Ranger force was still standing. They were exhausted, bleeding, but they were victorious. Their mission, a mission that officially had no name, became one of the most heroic and legendary chapters in American military history. Today, the U.S. Rangers are still known for that same unbreakable spirit. Lead the way. Fight the impossible. And never surrender. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as incredible as I did, make sure to like and subscribe for more untold histories.